Hello, my name is Andy Thompson, and I'm going to talk about a major problem in the American society, which is drinking and driving. Here's an ad campaign video to show and exemplify drinking and driving in society today.
Have you been drinking tonight?
Sir, have you been drinking this evening?
Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
They will catch you and arrest you. Drive sober or get pulled over.
In the United States of America, according to Forbes, about 73% of the adult population consumes alcohol. This is nearly 3/4 of the adult population, and this statistic doesn't even include underage drinkers either. The percentage of people who drink in the United States is large, and many people drink alcohol when they go out to eat. Oftentimes, they drive home after. Drinking is embedded in our society. It starts in college, where it's very popular among students. There are many people who drink, and there's many people who drive, but the issue becomes when they start drinking and driving, and it becomes lethal and can cause many damages to many people's property and lives. In a survey I posted on social media and sent to my family and friends, I received 112 responses. Of the 112 responses, 42.9% indicated they had a drink and then driven at some point in their life. The encouraging news: in the past 6 months, 75% of the survey participants indicated that they had not driven under the influence. However, 13.2% had driven under the influence at least once and twice in their life. These findings were surprising because over the last few decades there has been numerous campaigns to fight drinking and driving. The laws have become stricter and the legal drinking age is 21. Clearly there is a notion in our society that drinking and driving is okay, or at least it seems socially acceptable among college students. Post-World War II, from the 50s through the 80s, the economy was booming and people had more money and moved to the suburbs, and drinking and driving became a social norm. Over the next years, the government started to create laws and punishments for driving impaired, calling this offense a DUI, or driving under the influence. In 1980, a drunk hit-and-run driver with 4 previous drunk driving convictions struck and killed Candy Lightner's daughter while she walked with a friend in the bike lane in California. As a result of this devastating loss, Candy Lightner and some of her friends started MAD. MAD stands for Mothers Against Drunk Driving. This group would go on to become a national organization advocating for stricter drinking laws and lowering the drinking age and awareness for drunk driving. Drinking and driving is not just a city issue. There are many small towns who have felt the impact of drinking and driving. Carrie Ann Mayer, 38, her son Brian, 12, and daughter Samantha, 15, of Marshfield weren't supposed to leave us this way. All 3 died as a result of a pickup truck and SUV crash a few weeks ago. Today, and their driver, Todd Young, 33, of Marshfield, was critically injured. The driver of the truck was Mark Hamley, 57, a retired Dane County Sheriff's deputy and former president of the DeForest Village Board. Emergency responders said that Hamley seemed drunk. This goes to show that drinking and driving doesn't only affect the person driving the vehicle, but it also can affect people around who weren't even partaking in the drinking or driving. Drunk driving has many effects on people, including destruction of property and, more importantly, lives. It can also leave mental scars for people. Drunk driving contributes to approximately half of all highway deaths in the United States. This is too many deaths for an act that is extremely avoidable with a simple decision that can save lives. There is a clear problem in our society, as drinking and driving has been an issue for over a century, and despite the initiatives taken by MAD and the government, drunk driving has not been eliminated from society. In the nation's capital, the alcohol-related death toll fell 49%, perhaps because the blood alcohol content is 0.01. Uber or Lyft, which are like taxi services where drivers drive their own cars, users can order an Uber or Lyft to pick them up using the app. The driver will bring the user to wherever they choose to go. These rideshare apps have certainly helped many people get home safely. When using Uber or Lyft, there does not need to be a designated driver. However, even the use of rideshare apps has not eliminated drunk driving because it costs money. Uber and Lyft are typically cheaper than a taxi, but there is still a cost during peak hours. There can be surge pricing. There could be a solution to drunk driving that many people have overlooked that would improve the drinking and driving issue in the country. This would consist of implementing a system that bars and clubs would have to adopt from the government, could be paid for in tax dollars. The solution would levy a $10 tax per person per year, which would give the program an operating budget of $328.6 billion. The money would be used to expand Uber and Lyft to more rural areas, helping expand the reach of sober drivers behind the areas that are highly congested. The $328.6 billion would be put towards creating a universal application and rideshare program that all restaurants and bars would have access to. And if they notice someone is extremely intoxicated to the point of unsafe driving, they could call a driver to pick them up and give them a safe ride home. Putting this into action would eliminate intoxicated people from making the decision on whether or not they are capable of operating a motor vehicle. The use of the app will be at the discretion of the establishment, meaning that it's not an app for people to get free rides, but it is rather to eliminate the risk of people drinking and driving. Each establishment will have someone who is in charge and certified to decide if people need a free sober ride. This app can be also implemented into other events such as sporting games and concerts. Although this would be harder to use at large events, it would be doable. There would be multiple stations at each event with safe sober rides with popcorn free to eat in order to try to sober up. Now, this solution isn't necessarily perfect, but it does have a greater reach for people to get sober, safe rides home, and could make a massive impact on the country's drinking and driving deaths. Thank you for listening and have a nice day.